Welcome to my darkroom. Today we're going to be developing that roll of black and white film. We went through what kind of tanks, how you load the film, and how you agitate the film. We're going to be putting all that into practice, getting that first roll of black and white film all the way through step by step. So let's start. Welcome to the Naked Photographer, where I'll be exposing myself. No, I won't. That sounded better in my head. So the way I have everything laid out is, of course I got my timer. Normally that's on a shelf in front of me, but we got it here for your benefit. Got my film loaded up, ready to go. I have my developer, my stop bath, my fixer, and my photo flow. I'm using a non-hardening fixer. If I were using a hardening type, then after that I would have a fixer remover, then my photo flow. In this case, non-hardening, we can go straight to it. You'll notice that I've got a thermometer in here. You want to make sure of what temperature you're at, because every film has a specific developing time based on what film it is, what developer you're using, and what temperature you're at. Since it is a chemical reaction, time and temperature is how we determine that everything's going according to plan. It used to be 68 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 20 degrees Celsius, was the standard for everything. So you'd had to warm up or cool down your developer to match that and then get everything else in the ballpark. Nowadays, however, Ilford and Kodak both give times at a range of temperatures from 65 to 75 degrees in different increments. So just look at the chart and see. I'm using Kodak Plus X that I've had stored in my fridge for a long time. I'm using Kodak X-Tall developer. It's yellow. Normally you don't want a brown developer, that means it's bad. Mine's yellow because I'm using a replenished, so this is residual dye in my reused developer. Stop bath is just slightly acidic water that neutralizes the developer. Fixer removes the remaining silver salt that the developer didn't change to metal. And then photo flow is just a wetting agent to make sure the water runs off and dries evenly. So based on the temperature which I've got, which is about 68 degrees right now, I'm going to have a 7-minute development time. This is only about 30 seconds. Fixer is about 5 minutes. Photo flow, a minute or two, doesn't really matter. So we'll get this out of the way. I'm going to set my timer for 7 minutes. 6, 7. And let's get started. Take off the little cap. You don't want to take off the large lid. That's what keeps the light out. Little cap just keeps the liquid in and out. You notice I'm wearing gloves. This is not for health and safety. Some people do have slight reactions to these, but most black and white chemicals are actually fairly safe. Developer, for example, Xtol in particular, uses vitamin C as the active ingredient, so nothing there very harmful. The stop bath is basically it's acetic acid, which is really just distilled white vinegar. It's just got a different dilution than vinegar. Fixer is sodium thiosulfate, and that's used in much weaker quantities than what I've got to condition swimming pool water. And then photo flow is just a wetting agent, almost like detergent. Don't use soap though, that's very different. So these aren't going to hurt you, they're not going to hurt your hands, but fixer in particular, it just smells. It smells really bad, and it lingers. It's very hard to get off. So for the benefit of my wife, my kid, and my cat, I wear gloves just so I don't get on my skin. Otherwise, I'm going to smell all day. Nobody wants that. So 7 minutes on the timer. Check the film chart that you have with the film or your developer to find out what time you need. And we're just going to pour this in. I'm going to hold this at an angle. I'm going to pour it into the hole, and air is going to come out the top of the hole. If you pour it flat, it'll just overflow too much. This is a 16-ounce tank. It holds almost 500 milliliters, so you're going to find that I didn't quite use all that's in my cylinder here. That's okay. What you want to do is pour it in until you start to see a puddle form right here. That means it's full. And we'll go from there. So pour it in as fast as you can without making a mess. Do you see that puddle form? You're good to go. I'm going to get almost all of it in there. Okay, put the little cap on. Start your timer and agitate. I am using the Kodak cycle, so 5 to 7 in the first 5 seconds. Tap, set it down, and then walk away. No, seriously, just walk away from it. You don't want to touch it and hold it with your hands all the time because your hands are 98 degrees. You don't want to warm this up because that'll change the developing time. You don't want to do that. You want to keep it exactly what time you expect it to be. I'm about to agitate here again at my 30-second mark. Now, the reason why I tap is this can form a lot of foam around the reel, and those bubbles can kind of just stick to the film. So tapping it and giving it a firm placement down just gets those bubbles floating up to the top so that they don't form little defects all over your images. They're very hard to scan out and they're almost impossible to print out. So tap it after every agitation cycle. We'll just keep that from forming. Alright, I'm just going to develop all the way to the end of the 7 minutes, and then we'll go to the next step. Alright, so developing time is almost done. When it gets to the 10-second point, I'm going to pour my developer back in the cylinder, and we'll save that and put it away. We'll put it in our stop bath. Just pour that out as fast as you can. And stop bath. Now stop bath is only going to take about 30 seconds. So we're going to agitate for 20. We'll pour out with 10 left. So your developer keeps working even after you pour it out. There's just some residual soaked into the emulsion, and we just want to neutralize it as fast as possible. That's all that the stop bath does. It just neutralizes the acidic or the alkaline developer. It doesn't take long. Just agitate till it's done. Okay, 10 seconds left. Pour it out and put it in the fixer. Now, fixer does not need the same agitation cycle as your developer, although you can use that if it's just easier for you to remember. I'm going to agitate for the first 30 seconds, and then about 5 to 10 seconds every minute after that. I'll set it for 4 minutes. Now, how do you determine your fixing time? Clip a piece of film off the end of the roll before you put it into the tank. Take that little piece after you load the film up, turn the lights on, put that piece into your fixer and time how long it takes to become completely clear, transparent. You then want to set a fixing time 3 times longer than it took to clear. That's the basic rule of thumb that Kodak gives you. I believe Ilford is the same. So it took about 90 seconds for my film to clear in the fixer. So 90 seconds, that's 1.5 minutes. Double that's 3 minutes. And then 4.5 minutes. I set mine for 4. I'll check it and see if it's got a little bit of tint to it. I might do a little bit longer, but having done my tests, 4 minutes gives me plenty of time. It's actually more like a minute to clear up. Alright, time is almost done. When we get to the 10-second mark, I'll pour this out. And we'll begin our wash. Now I'm going to use a running water wash. Ilford uses a different method, a fill and dump agitation. That works perfectly fine. Just follow the directions. But I'm going to use the Kodak fill and dump method. And that is simply, or I'm going to use running water, sorry. So I just have a hose. I've got a stainless steel tube I got at a hobby supply store, like a model train store. It's just a latex hose from Lowe's. It's a rubber stopper, it's a very different thing. I've got the water running fairly low. It's 0.2 gallons per minute, if that's of any interest to you. But that is how much it takes to fill the tank and have a complete change of water in 5 minutes. If you use a hardening fixer, you have to wash for at least a half an hour in running water. Non-hardening, this is what Kodak actually recommends. So we'll come back when the time is over, we'll do our photo flow, and then we're ready to dry. Okay, so I just turned the water off, time's just about done. So we can empty that out. I'm gonna pour it in the sink. All right, and now photo flow. So I do not want to put my lid on and agitate. Photo flow gets pretty foamy all on its own. You really just kind of want to move it up and down a few times. You can see that it's already foamed up quite a bit, and we're just going to let that sit for a minute. Don't touch it, just let it sit. So this has been in long enough for the photo flow, so we're just going to hang it up to dry, and that'll be done. Just pull it out. Notice I'm not wearing my gloves anymore. They might be contaminated with fixer at this point, and I just don't want to contaminate all that work that I did by cleaning that off. So just pull it out, give it a light shake. Don't rinse it off. You don't want to rinse off the photo flow. If you do that, well, it's not doing its job. So just hang it up as is, clip the end, and what I'm using is a line, which you can see a little bit of it over here. It's a steel cable with little hooks that I got from IKEA. I think it's meant for hanging pictures up in a kid's room or something like that. Super cheap, easy to put up, rust-free. But you can use just a string, some hooks, clothespins. You can put it with suction cups in your shower if that's what you got, if you're developing your bathroom. But at any rate, just clip the film up and let down. So I've got some photos on there. And then weigh it down with another clip so it doesn't curl up on itself and dry like that. You don't want it to curl up and dry because the gelatin on the backside can be very soft and it can stick to the plastic on the other side, and then you can't get them apart. So just let it dry. With the temperature today in my darkroom, it's about 70, 72, but it's raining outside, so humidity's up. Maybe an hour, could be a half an hour, but doesn't matter. I'm not in any hurry. Just let it air dry, and then you're done. We can sleeve it and cut it up and be ready for scanning or contact sheet, and we'll do that with another video. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and we will see you in the darkroom next time.